Amy Winehouse.
Yeah, when you're driving traffic, I'm like, oh, that was a little far.
Oh.
To put my
I
eyeliner.
have to scoot in.
Oh, scoot you over.
Okay.
Oh,
I feel like a whale.
You know the thick line.
So Tyler, when we were out of town this weekend, I'm sure, this week, a whole week.
yeah. We missed her.
I complain so much about like getting dressed and stuff because I'm just a complaining type of pregnant chick. And so I was getting ready to go out to the pool, and of course that's like
That's an ordeal.
it is.
Yeah.
I mean, it is. And so he's like, "Oh, I think I spot a whale on the beach."
Just to mess with you.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah,
I would
he's just messing with
He
you.
would
gotta
not.
make
He would have
fun.
not been. Yeah,
He's
no,
just
he would have.
teasing.
He would have
Yeah,
done.
you
Hi,
have
Kayla.
You have to make it fun.
So I'm so excited. I missed everybody last week. I had all
Missed
intentions
you.
of hopping on from Palm Beach, and
You were in vacay mode.
I was.
Yeah.
It was like, I don't know, 11, and I'm like, when I text you, whatever
Yeah.
time,
Yeah,
I'm like, oh my gosh.
it happens.
Yeah. You
I
guys,
just,
We were so easily forgotten.
you guys look
you
great.
should forget us when you're in Palm Beach.
Yeah,
Have your
absolutely.
time.
Have your time.
So how many of you guys have you been to Palm Beach?
No, my friend Katrina used to go. She said they like their vacay. No,
my
to go
gosh.
see Dave Matthews would go there a lot.
Oh wait,
really?
yeah, that's right. I've been there to see Dave Matthews.
Yeah, Dave
Yeah.
Matthews Band goes to Palm Beach. Now we know why.
Okay,
So they
so,
have that big amphitheater there.
Yeah.
oh really?
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
It's not near the beach. It's more inland.
Okay, like West Palm.
Yeah, I think. I don't know. We drove far over there.
There's a palm in the
There's a palm.
There's a palm in there, but it's so different. So I'm really excited to give you guys this little review because we didn't know anything about what we were embarking on. We originally were supposed to go to Italy and Greece and had some really big plans because it was our 5-year wedding anniversary and Tyler's 40th birthday.
Wow.
So we have my best friend who's in Germany currently, Leslie, and she was gonna her kids were going to watch my kids. We were gonna dump them off there. It was like a really master plan. And I got pregnant. And
I love
I
when
just
she says that. And I got that.
refused to have all of my photos and be pregnant and or not be able to drink as much wine as I could ever
Right.
want.
Yeah.
So canceled. But we'd saved up so many American Express points. It was like we'd been saving them for years for this trip. If you guys, I don't know if you guys do any of that, but I highly recommend it. I mean, we just use our card for everyday purchases, and then you just rack up points. So we had 800,000
Wow.
points.
Do you
So-
fly to Palm Beach though?
No, we drove. It's only 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
But anyway, so we just tried to find something that was really fun and swanky and bougie that was not far away. So this is what
Yeah.
popped up.
We have Eric, John,
So
and Michelle
hello,
Roberts.
Eric.
He's getting
They jumped
married
on.
soon.
Eric's getting married soon. Good
Yeah.
for you.
Way to go! Congrats.
I think if it's there's not only
It's on your
one
phone.
Eric John. Yeah, he's getting married in January. We're going to
Congrats.
the wedding with the new baby. It's going to be quite the experience because they're pretty
Brand new.
wild. So
Get it,
yeah, I'm gonna strap that baby on Hangover style. Whatever that movie's called.
Carlos.
So anyway, so we went to the Breakers, and it is. First of all, I had no idea how much history there is in Palm Beach, and I learned so much about that area, that hotel. Henry Flagler, who is the founder of Florida, basically, and is so under-recognized. It's really
That
amazing.
name sounds familiar.
Yes, because he's was
Flagler
the man.
Beach.
Right. Okay.
He did a lot, and he has other hotels, but there's just so much history there. We went to the museum because we're loved that. It was so much
Oh
fun.
yeah, I love museums.
But it was the most beautiful, breathtaking place. So it's very modeled after a lot of Italian inspired pieces and architecture. I can't say enough. Now, we did not anticipate that our food bill would be more than our lodging. Because, yes. So if you are planning any sort of trip to Palm Beach, I will tell you, 2 people, if you want to have a glass of wine.
Snacks in my bag.
Yeah. I'll be putting snacks in my
I
bag.
put snacks in my bag.
Like obviously I'm expecting, so I limit myself to, maybe 1.5 glasses of wine at dinner. It's not like I'm, going to town and I mean, you couldn't eat dinner for less. Well, you might have been able to, but not in the style that we were going for under $250 to $300 a person, or together, a couple. So I mean, that was fine but shocking because
I would have literally like rolled over. I saw a $600 bill.
I'm sorry.
Well, no. It's for the couple, not each.
Oh, I was.
So like,
Okay,
but
so
still,
no.
I'm
I
there
was like, no, none of this
6-7 days. You figure even
Yeah,
lunches.
yeah.
It was expensive,
So-
but worth it.
You had taken a picture of the food that you see in like the movies where
Yes.
it comes out and it's like these little
Yes.
baby things, and then but that's part of like a
The
whole
experience.
course.
Yes.
Like you get more food than that because that would have been like 1,
Yes.
2 done.
Yes.
But more food where it was to come.
Yes,
Okay.
we had an amazing French meal for our anniversary. That was like, but the guy was laughing because Tyler and I made it like 7 courses because we ordered so much different
Mhm.
little. But I mean, it was everything that we had anticipated it to be. The beach was beautiful, so much different than our coast. So much.
Really?
Well,
Yeah.
just so many more waves. Like
Yeah,
so much
it's off
rock
the
there.
Atlantic. So
Oh,
We have a Kathy
I
Atkin
just-
and I don't know the other girl's name.
Hi. I just really loved it. And so now we are trying to figure out how to do it as a family. So I'm looking into like some, vacation rentals. I have a really great plan for those of you with kids. My plan is to take the kids and then have them picked up like halfway through and then end the vacation on our own. So we'll probably start in a home where we can make dinners and lunches because I mean really I can't even imagine like taking my 2 teenagers that are like grown
No
adults.
way.
You couldn't. I mean, you could maybe go, over to West Palm and of course get a much better deal. But then it's like, I don't know. It's just the experience. It was so much fun.
Well,
I
it almost
loved
is
it.
like you traveled internationally because you had all these different types
Yeah.
of
Cuisine.
architecture, things,
Yeah.
culture that you don't necessarily get in Florida all the
it's
time.
like another world. And it's really funny because my husband is tatted up, and now he just did a new tattoo that is just wild. While we were there, because his tattoo artist is in West Palm Beach. So of course, the end of our trip on Friday was him going to get his tattoo, another tattoo, and but we didn't. I don't think we saw another person with tats like him. He's like out there like chest all done, full sleeve, hands done.
Somebody wrote 3 divas. Sharon Lou Bostrom.
Oh hey, mama, that's
3
my
divas.
cousin.
Oh hey,
My
cousin.
absolute favorite cousin on the planet. So, but yeah, it was just, I can't say enough. We'll go back every year, I think forever, because we just loved it.
That's wonderful. When you find a place like that, you can start creating those kinds of
Yeah.
traditions.
Yeah,
Did you guys fall in love all over again?
we did.
I fall in love all over again.
I know,
like
but that's
every
what it
week.
looked like. It looked like a romantic story. I was like, I can just see you guys falling in love again
We
when there's
really
nobody
had
else
so
around
much
to
fun.
distract you.
Yeah.
It's funny because when you're used to doing so much in a day, and then you just like have to totally unwind, I think it takes you like 2 days to try to unplug your brain.
Yes.
And feel like, okay, I don't have to like do all of this.
Yeah.
You feel, for lack of another word, like lazy almost. You're kind of just like
True.
do. And then the last day and a half, I would say we were both getting a little antsy. We missed our kids a lot.
Yeah.
And then you know how that goes. So you get home and within 30 minutes, we're like, oh, take us back, please.
Please, yeah.
Because they're like off the chain, running
Right.
around, acting
Because
crazy.
they miss you.
They missed us so hard, like they did. But it was great. It was basically 7 days. And we kind of planned it out, so we came home on a Friday, which I highly recommend when you have kids and you go on
Oh,
vacation.
yeah.
Because you come home on a Sunday, it's like the next day you're back to the
Yeah.
grind. But that gave us some time to kind of get back in the swing of things, restock our house. Super
that
anal,
idea.
so organize anything that I felt like was out of place,
Yeah.
all that kind of stuff.
I love it. I'm down. Like
Oh, it was awesome.
we were what was perusing your pictures and
Oh my gosh.
so we
You
were.
guys should totally check it out.
You know,
and
Megan just said hi. Megan Jonathan said her and her husband just returned from Hawaii with
Oh,
just
wow.
those 2
Yeah.
going by themselves. And they told me a story about flying first class. They got to the check-in and it was like
slashed in half. So they were like, let's just do it because they're flying in Hawaii. It's a long flight.
Yeah.
So she said that it was, don't ever do it because then you will never want to fly coach again.
Sure.
You get a hot rag, you get unlimited drinks, you get room, they serve you, you don't have to worry about the crowd. I'm like, I was just in heaven listening to her. And I'm like, I don't want to ever do it.
Well, I think that when you splurge on yourself, and I think that you should, but I mean, the three of us, we're always working to a place that is not, we're working to a place where it is first class all the time.
Yeah.
That's where we're working towards.
Yeah.
That's what we're working towards. And so I think we always kind of have to have that mentality and that in mind. Like, you go and you experience these experiences and you plan on going back and experiencing them again because they were just so amazing. And so it makes you push harder, reach more, do more to get to where you want to be.
It's true.
And so, yeah, absolutely, I want to fly first class.
And well, it got me
I do
thinking,
this,
I'm like, is DC worth paying extra to fly first class? It's like, what, a 2-hour flight? Not even?
Probably
'Cause-
not.
I mean, maybe, but I
But
think
it got my
like,
wheels turning. Like, maybe I need to try to fly first class next time.
We leave Friday, so I mean,
Yeah,
Are
it's
you
just,
going?
that's a quick flight.
I think so. I have some craziness happened right the week before I was leaving, because everybody probably knows, I know I talk a lot about Willows and Arbonne, but we also own a very large cleaning and maintenance service, and I have a full office staff, and one of my main billing clerks put in her resignation the week before we were leaving. So I had that week to try to kind of figure out a plan, and then last week I wasn't here. So we're currently interviewing. I'm taking that position right now. I have to do all of that. So it's kind of got me a little anxious and coming right off of another trip, you know,
it's hard.
and
Yeah.
then thinking about leaving the kids again right away. And so, of course, I've let it get to the point where it's not even reasonable for the flight anymore. So now I'm just trying to kind of work through that. But
well, let us know.
more than likely.
Let us know. Because we're excited. I actually was on FaceTime with Leslie at like 5 something this morning.
Oh,
Because she's coming in tomorrow.
yes.
And we also, we run her, we do an account for her. And so she and I were chatting it up this morning. And I was like, so about this weekend. She's like, you girls don't have anything to worry about. I was like,
Do we need white outfits though?
Yeah, like I need to know. That's what I need to ask her because that's what I forgot.
Yeah, I don't want to.
Usually it's white party.
Okay.
So it's really, I think we talked about it last coffee chat. It's so exciting because my best friend and I are in business together in Arbonne, and these girls have accounts too. So they're gonna be floored. But there's 2 new regional vice presidents that promoted in DC area. One of which is Leslie's son, who I've known for 10 plus years. So since he was 10 or 12. I've watched him, he's been amazing, and now he's promoted to regional vice president, and got his Mercedes, and it's really cool. And then there's another gal who's just an awesome woman, and she just won a couple of fitness competitions in DC using Arbonne's products, which is really exciting. A lot of people don't necessarily know how powerful a nutritional line is, but she and her husband, now they got married, they just placed first in many categories.
Oh, I like that.
Very cool. So her car presentation is also this weekend. So it's going to be a lot of fun, a lot of chance to dress up. We're going to have a fun training and do some really cool stuff. So I'm excited as long as I can get my butt in that seat. I was trying to get on the same flight as you guys because I figured
Oh, yeah.
that would be cool. But we'll
I
see.
do. I want to see that other side of Arbonne that really captivates everybody.
Oh my gosh.
Because every time you come back from any of their events, you're like so pumped, so excited, and it's awesome to have those things in your life to keep you going.
It's
Uh-oh.
just,
I think I just saw that.
yeah, probably. He's been-
Whoa. This belly is moving, by the way,
He's
if you're
getting
wondering.
big.
Oh my.
Woo! He's getting big now.
He
like
is.
he's like can move really.
He's getting around.
Oh my.
Mhm. Yes.
Oh, I love it. I was
Starting.
holding babies this weekend.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh, so I have to tell you, speaking of babies,
Ooh.
so Deanna Hurley is
All your
Yeah.
jumping
doing
on.
Get
is
on
doing
here.
my maternity session this time.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be her very first home birth photo session,
Oh,
and she's doing all that stuff for me. And so we had a fun little idea because they're renting a home, and so we're doing a rental on a budget. And so yesterday we came up with her vision board for her bedroom, and it's really exciting. So we're having fun with that. So she's awesome, and A lot of fun to
We
work
love
with.
Deanna.
We love Deanna.
Yeah, and
She
tomorrow
works
I'm
with us.
going with one of my current clients for Willows and Rust that we're doing a whole kitchen remodel, which I kind of knew this would happen. It's turned into like a house remodel because oftentimes you do a space and then you're inspired in other spaces, and they did a very open floor plan. So the living room is part of the kitchen kind of.
Oh, so it has to kind of go together.
So yeah, so she messaged me last night and she's like, well, we've decided we need to repaint everything. So we picked a color, and tomorrow we're going to pick some furniture.
You
So-
say that, and that just totally reminds me of my parents when they were gonna redo their kitchen, and like they redo the kitchen, and then all of a sudden like not that the living room got redone, but like they redid the flooring in the entire like house, like the living room, the kitchen, the down the hallway, and it was so funny because I don't know if I ever told you about the paint experience. So they went and they picked out paint. My mom got really excited. They like paint for days, like samples all over the wall.
Right.
She picks her paint. She goes to Sherwin-Williams. She does it. They tell the guy, did they do all the things that they have to do for the paint? So my mom and my dad go to breakfast, and they come back, and their house was legit Smurf blue inside.
It was the wrong color,
Obviously,
obviously.
way the wrong color. Like my mom and my dad like walked in to the
Yeah.
house, and we're just like. And I remember my mom calling me, and she's like, "You need to come over." And I'm like, "Why?" She's like, "You need to come over." And my mom like literally, I just walked to her house. So I'm like walking over, and as I turn into the backyard, I can see from the backyard into the back porch into the house, and I'm like, "Oh shit!" And my mom was just like, what do you do? Like
Right,
there was
just
nothing.
paint,
I mean, they
thank
like
goodness,
painted the
right?
whole house, and it was funny. I guess the guys called the painting contractor, and they were like, "Hey, so are we sure this is the color?"
Did she keep it?
No.
No,
It was Smurf blue.
Yeah, but they had to repaint.
No, they had to repaint everything, and they ended. I mean, the color they were supposed to have was this really beautiful, like smoky gray, like almost
Yeah.
gorgeous. And now that's what the house looks like. But I've never laughed so hard.
It would be
Like,
really,
we were
you have to
rolling.
laugh, right?
Yeah.
And I kept calling people to come over. I'm like, you gotta come by my mom's house. You gotta come by my mom's house. And like her kitchen, like they were like doing all the things. Like the kitchen was still like being done and everything, and like the floor. And I just remember like my mom's face was just like,
Yeah.
Yeah, because
like what do you do with it? Because they went for and like the whole house was painted. Like they left, and these guys like knocked it out in like 2
Yeah,
hours.
because
Like,
they
it was-
spray probably.
Yeah.
The
It's a
best
big-
part was my little brother walks out of his bedroom and is going to work and like walks by everything, and he's like,
doesn't even think anything.
right. And I remember my mom was like, Caleb, what? And he was like, I didn't know. I
Yeah.
thought maybe like it
That's
was maybe
what he
once it
wanted.
dried,
Yeah, that's
it
true.
would be a different color. I'm like, that's a really
Oh,
dark blue,
yeah.
like Smurf blue. It was the funniest thing ever. So check
Probably
your
like a
stuff.
number switched.
Possibly.
Because when we were painting our house, we had a really neat gray picked out for Alexander's room, and it ended up being a blue that I kept because I actually liked it. But I just switched the two end numbers by mistake when I wrote them down for my painting
Oh my
guy.
gosh.
Yeah, so, but I remember walking in and I'm like, I don't remember this color from our
Yeah.
discussion, but it was actually cool, so we kept it. But I've been giving Nicole, so I've been doing more mood boards because I'm busy. So I have a lot more going with clients that are looking for new spaces and to do these different things. And so I have to ask if I can share the most recent one that I sent you.
Yeah.
But they're really fun, and I do them for a lot of clients. And so depending on your budget, what I can do is, let's say that you tell me, I want to redo my room, I want to redo my bed. A lot of people ask me about bedding
Yeah, I'm straight stuck on bedding.
because
Yeah.
they just don't know how to make it look like they want it to look. And so if they have an inspired piece, let's say they already have a comforter, or they already have, a set of pillows that they, shams that they really want to keep, but they want to elaborate on it, I can take that, inspiration, or maybe it's a Pinterest picture that's very popular, or they'll send me a snapshot of something they've seen. Or like my client recently, it's a bedroom remodel, but she sent me photos of a living room that is not a bedroom, right? But the colors that she felt like she liked. Around to my clients a board that will give you the other pieces. And depending on your budget, those can be pieces with links if I already know your budget. A lot of people will say to me, well, I don't really know what my budget is. They just don't know. They really legitimately don't. I know they have a number in mind, they have to, but they just don't have a real pinpointed idea. So I'll usually find your focal point. So let's say it's your comforter. Let's say I pick it and I'm like, this is your staple piece. This is why you want to order this piece. Everything else will be neutral enough that you can still tag, you can pick up a couple of shams that you see at Home Goods. You can snag that pillow that you see on the sale rack at Target, so that you can make these bedding ensembles affordable, because these other pieces that are going to go with it are more neutral, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So I've been doing a lot of that lately, and you can go to my services on my website and you can see kind of how that all works. We can do it for bedding, a whole room, just depends, like with Nicole, with Deanna, we're doing her whole bedroom, so we're just having a lot of fun with it. So I'm really excited. I think the issue for Home Trends magazine should be out in the next couple of days. So I'm excited to post some of that. I'm definitely going to do a great blog about the breakers, give you guys a little bit more information, some more photos. We took a lot of pictures.
Yay.
And I want to give you guys a little bit of, I don't know if anybody else is like history buffs at all. I'm really
I love history.
not necessarily, but I guess somehow I've become more into that learning more about where things were inspired from. And, it's like Henry Flagler was like the forgotten. He didn't make it as far in history as he should. I'm definitely going to share some things about him because I was blown. We didn't know
Megan's
more.
asking me what's the website address, and I think you're referring to willowsandrust.com, and then right when you go on the homepage, there says check out our services, and you click on that and it'll take you to the different services that she offers.
Yeah,
So-
and definitely, if reach out if it's more or less than you're looking for. We can cater things and tailor them more towards individuals, but it's really good.
We all have really pretty pink lips on today.
Mine are argon.
Mine or
Mine's
whatever
chapstick.
Erin
Oh.
Brindle gave me.
And I have to tell you guys that this particular stain, they have a whole line of them now. So one side of the wand is a matte stain and the other side is a gloss. So depending on your mood or whatever, but they were always holiday editions.
Oh,
And so they
got
now-
popular.
Yeah.
What was
So
that?
they have a whole line coming out now.
There was an ARMP when we were at one of our doctor clients that was raving about Arbonne primer, is what I
Oh
think
my
it
gosh.
was.
Yeah,
She's
she
like
was raving. Yeah, she was
she
raving.
knows because she does a lot of the facial stuff.
Yeah,
It's
she was
best.
big. She was like, it is the best primer out there, hands down, period. And I'm like, now I'm a primer girl, and I haven't tried it yet, so I plan on trying
Oh
it.
my gosh.
I was actually gonna sit down and try and figure out like what all I was gonna, cause I'm a huge makeup person, and so I was gonna order a bunch of the Arbonne, cause I know you did my makeup that one time, and so
Yeah, on camera.
yeah,
We have to repost.
yeah.
And Ivanka was just telling us about how much of the chemicals actually go through our skin, as opposed to we just detox the inside, but we need to be detoxing what we're
Yeah,
putting
if
on our
someone
body.
Poisoned
so.
you, in your, I know it sounds so demented and dark, but it's the truth. If you are poisoned, through your mouth, like by ingesting something, you have 15 minutes you could save your life by just throwing up. You have a 15-minute window. But if someone applies something to your skin that's toxic, you have 15 seconds. I mean,
That
that
puts it in perspective.
that puts it into
Yeah.
big
Right, because
perspective.
it doesn't even
how-
go to through any of your filtering organs or
Yeah,
anything.
it just legit, your skin is your largest organ, and literally, once it penetrates the walls of your skin, it has it has some,
Do you think that's
so
true?
basically, yeah, the qualities, the things that you put on your skin are very,
Well, I mean, I know that
very
putting
Definitely
chemicals, but
true.
it being poisoned that quick, because she actually has talked to her kids about it. Like, make yourself throw up if you think you've eaten something that's bad,
Mhm.
And I just thought that was the coolest life skill to be talking about with your children, because you just I don't know.
I'm telling you,
You
like,
would
we
love,
were actually
love
saying the
her.
other day, we were like, we have got to
That's
introduce Ivanka and Sarah.
I made rollerballs
Because-
this weekend.
Ivanka is
awesome.
like this naturopath, amazing, like the things that I learn from her on a regular basis that have nothing to do with, they're just life skills.
Mm-hmm.
She was talking about grounding where you, like when your body is like off and you're feeling sick all the time, you just take your shoes off and go walk around your
I
grass.
just read an article about this. It's
Yeah.
so interesting. that
And
you're
she's
bringing
like,
it
she
up.
talks about the frequencies in your body, and like, so for me, I'm huge in naturopath. Anybody who knows me or knows my story knows that I firmly believe that our bodies can cure themselves when we're aided with the right tools. Getting to the root cause and, getting away from all the nasty, bad stuff that we put into our bodies. You can actually cure cancer by, not having to do chemo and not having to do radiation and not
Right,
having to do all
alkaline.
those things, by alkalining your body, creating a better pH balance within your system, and, staying away from the things that we know are bad, but putting in the things that are good, and utilizing essential oils and bentonite clay, and like there's so many things that are here on this earth that are here to help us be better, but we just go to the pharmaceutical side of it
Yeah.
or the traditional medicine side of it. So anyhow, we do have to hook you two up because Ivanka
I would
is a
love-
wealth of knowledge.
That's awesome. I would love it. I would love it. And a lot of times I think when you don't have someone that's educating you, it can seem like such a overwhelming.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
like
it's
yeah.
so. It can just feel so overwhelming to have to figure it out. And it's like, this is bad for you today. Oh no, it's not. It's good for you. Oh,
Yep.
this is. This has been.
Mhm.
And I think that, I've mentioned this before, and she's actually been on the show, but one of my girlfriends, Dawn, she had thyroid issues, and she was a really heavy smoker and a just super unhealthy diet, and didn't eat. She was just busy, didn't eat. I think you kind of are like this in the past. Would just not eat coffee and a cigarette, and she was ready to go for the day, and then maybe dinner she might finally starve herself long enough. But anyway, long story short, she went to a naturopath because she really wanted to change her life. And she learned a lot, but she still was overwhelmed. And through our Arbonne 30-day program, it gave her those ABCs to kind of pull in and complete the puzzle,
Right.
so that she could start a healthy journey with an ABC system that you get support and ideas and more education. She's down 40 pounds. She's off her thyroid meds. She's quit smoking. She's
I can't even imagine her like that as like a smoker and coffee drinker. Like she just seems like such a light. Like when you meet her,
She
in
is a
that
light,
short,
that
she's, time that we
She
met her.
is, and she's building a great business now with Arbonne. She's a phenomenal bookkeeper, so it's a secondary thing that she's up to. But it's really cool to watch. I've learned so much myself, and then that little bit of to start, then you start furthering your education through other things too. You start paying more attention. You start, you keep fueling your knowledge. I was watching something recently about just personal development, and and spiritual development and all of that. And one of the things the person said on this webinar that I was watching was, you're constantly having to continue that journey.
Oh yeah.
It's not like you start it and then you do it and then you're done with it. You're continuing to grow. You're continuing to learn. You're continuing to find out how different things fuel your body and fuel your mind. So it's really interesting. It's just a whole overhaul, I guess.
Well, I mean, it is. I mean, spiritually, mentally, physically, emotionally, there's so, like, it all goes hand in hand. You can't have that negative, like, I preach, keep the negative out.
Yeah,
and
me
I,
too.
like, there's so much negative when I really sit back and try to focus on the positive. Like, there's some negative people that I just want to take a sword to, be like, like, I can't, I just,
yourself, right?
you have to, like, you have to, and then, going one step further, okay, that negative energy can't then, your eating habits, you notice that your eating habits and the things that you put into your body and the habits that you have. I was a smoker. I, overindulged in coffee. Like, that was, like, my thing. And I'm a pretty positive person, but, like, lately, and Nicole will tell you, I was literally, like, just this ball of, like, oh my God, don't talk to me. And it wasn't because I quit smoking. It was just because I had so much negative coming at me that negative was seeping in, and it was starting to come through. Like, it was starting to come out in the way I talked, and the way that my attitude was, the way that I looked at situations, the way that I was, like, almost giving up a little because there's so much negative. And I don't know, like, the last couple, I would say, like, the last week, I've really been trying to reach from that. Like, I told her this morning, I said, I feel like I got puppy butt while I'm eating.
It has to do with your tribe. So we felt that, and we started reading 100 Days to Brave, and we kind of joined together and started talking to each other and taking that moment during the day to reflect, to honor each other. So if you don't build a good tribe around yourself, you don't have a support system, and then you can fall deeper. You have to get some people around you that will take a second and read some scriptures, and if that's not your thing, read some things that are just inspiring quotes, whatever it is. Sit in for a second, because it's hard. If Sarah didn't remind us some days, we wouldn't do it. So that, again, we have to have somebody strong to remind us.
And we get emotional in it too.
Yeah.
Like, it's not something like Nicole a couple days were like, you know, I just can't read it because
I'm always emotional.
it's all but it taps into your soul, and we've had some really powerful conversations through that brave sequence, because you don't think that you're brave, but I realized last week I'm a lot braver than I thought, and Nicole's a lot braver than she thought, Sarah's a lot braver than she thought, and we've been finding that courage, and that courage reaches into that. We really want to make our bodies healthy, we want to make our minds healthy, we want to make our hearts healthy.
Well,
We're doing the 30-day Argon thing right
I
now.
started today.
Okay, and if you have like a weekend.
And, you know, a lot of people, you know, I know we're going over on time a little bit here, but a lot of people don't know this, but
It's our show, we can do what we want.
you know, I did the 30-day program for the majority of my first pregnancy and second pregnancy. And now, and not to say that I never splurged, but obviously I want to stay healthy as I can in general, and then of course I'm pregnant, so you want it even more. And I took that to my midwife, my diet program, and I showed it to her, and she was like, you need to teach a nutrition class to my pregnant women, because this is perfect. And so we indulged way too much. I posted a joke on my Instagram. I was like, I don't know if this is the baby or the food that is like coming out here, but this bump is strong. So I started today to get back on my clean living, and so did Tyler.
Hi,
so
Mama.
I swear it's
I was
like
gonna say,
mental
it says
because I already
Lana.
feel better.
Dawn's on. We were talking about you, Dawn.
Yeah.
Andrew, Leslie, Jordan, Humphrey. Who's that?
That's
I'm just kidding.
Leslie Jordan.
Gotcha.
And Snow Hughes.
That's my
Okay,
mama.
that's Mama. Okay, hi, Luana.
Your mama?
My mama is
Hey,
watching.
Mama. Yeah,
Yes.
that's a good mama story.
We actually took Mama. Okay, our plan was to take Mama out to dinner Saturday night, of course.
Yeah.
I'm like, here, just use my card. She's like, I go to the bathroom and I come back. I'm like, okay, did I at least get a paid tip? She's like, no. I'm like, Mama,
Let me take care of you.
She doesn't.
No.
That's just Mama for you.
I probably wouldn't let my kid either.
Alexander calls me mama too, and he calls his dad Dada.
Aw.
He
That's
doesn't
so
call him dad
cute.
yet. He says Dada, Dada.
Love it, love it, love it.
So yeah, I mean, I just love this. Like, we have our little tribe. You guys are a part of our tribe. And you know what we need to do? We need to ask people to ask us what they want us to talk about, because last week we got stopped on 2 different
Oh my God.
people coming up to us, and
At
once
chamber
we were at a
events,
chamber
yeah.
event, and we were trying to go to the costume to change into our pig costumes. Yes, we were pigs. And we get stopped by one woman who's a very well-known woman here in town. She does a lot of really good work. She runs a really successful company. She stopped us and she goes, "You too." And we were like,
Yes,
"Oh,
are we in trouble?
yes." And she's like, "I just want y'all to know that I crack up watching y'all's show.
Y'all are crazy."
She's like, "Y'all are crazy.
Yeah.
I love it." And I was like,
It's fun.
"Oh, is she watching me and Nicole nitpick, or is she watching?"
I think
Rose
she was
and
on
Russ?
it. Yeah.
But then she probably watches all of it
Yeah.
because we put it all on our channels. But then not 30 minutes later, a completely different person comes up and she's like, "I just love you girls. I just love you." And so it just, it reminds me that we are putting good work out there because we're inspiring people to do good and great things. And, if you guys, there is any topic that you want us to talk about, or a subject that maybe you're curious about and you want us to do the research and find out and, bring it out there and talk it to the masses, we will. Because most of the time we're winging it.
Yeah,
Just
we
like
do
my
wing it.
eyeliner. We're winging it.
Yes.
Oh, I watched a YouTube. I did my first wing the other night. I watched a YouTube video, but anyway, that's another story.
Liquid or
Liquid, yeah, because I have
Oh,
no
buddy.
idea how to do that stuff.
Yeah.
But we also have a new 30-day reset group starting next week. So if it's something that you want to learn more about, as we're talking about the healthy living, our mind is connected directly to our tummies. And so is our immune system. So I promise you, it will be the best you've ever felt. And our maintenance program is awesome. It just teaches a new lifestyle.
And if you notice, we're all drinking
I
No,
know,
not
all
Yetis.
Yetis.
This is not coffee.
Mine
No.
has the cleanse in
water
it,
and-
half of the cleanse and a Fistic. So we're starting the 7-day cleanse in the second
Awesome.
week. Yeah, and it tastes really good. It's like
Really
lemon,
right, ginger.
Yeah, it's so tasty.
I haven't started my cleanse day, but I did bring my huge water bottle to do so. And
Yeah, we have it
Awesome.
here, so we'll just mix it up.
Awesome. Yeah, it's you'll just watch the progress, and you know it's one of those. What's that saying? Watch us or join us.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Watch us or join us.
Well, I've got a lot of weight to get off. And funny story, Justine and I went yesterday. And I did break yesterday, and I had a fun day. 10 mimosas later. We did have to get a ride home for my daughters, and they were pissed. It was really funny. But Justine and I don't know at what point in time we thought it was a good idea to get on the scales after that. And
Oh.
she was,
Oh my gosh.
we had a little too much to drink clearly. And she's like on the scale and she's like, oh my God, I've gained 6 pounds. And I said, well, I'm going to take all my clothes off. And I'm on the scale.
Of course.
And I'm like, well, at least I'm 2 pounds less than I was,
Oh,
you know,
good
when I
for
started the
you.
detox. Because I told you guys I gained all the weight back,
Yeah.
then some, and I was just like really upset about it. And so I'm sitting there naked, of course, in front of with my best friend, because that's just how we roll.
Yeah.
And she's like, but I just don't see it.
No, I don't either.
She's like, I just don't see it. She's like, and you're naked. It's
I
not
was
like
just
you're
saying.
right in the shirt right now. And I thought to myself, as like I put my clothes back on, and then I went to bed because it was 3 o'clock in the afternoon. It's time to go to bed after that much to drink. And I thought, I'm really blessed that I have such good people in my life. But I was really excited. I was like laying down in the bed, like doing the butt dance. Like,
Yeah.
I lost 2 more
2
pounds.
Exactly.
So difference between men and women.
Yeah,
Oh,
right.
yeah.
So after that week of just food and fun, which I mean we were not like totally horribly unhealthy, but I mean we definitely were not.
Not
The healthy
applying
yes.
the 80-20 rule.
And we get home from our trip, literally, and the first thing that my husband does is gets on the scale. I'm like, what in the hell is wrong with you? Like, I will not step on that scale
No.
for at least 1 week.
When I think of food, all this stuff.
Yes,
yeah.
and not clothed, like you said. I never weigh clothed. I know I've told you this before
Yeah,
about my
yeah.
son stripping down in Publix.
Oh.
Because you know, like I taught my kids,
Oh,
even my
to
boys.
get on the scale.
Yes, I look over and Jacob, he was like 5 or 6 years old,
Oh my
is
God.
like getting himself down pretty much to his undies to weigh himself. Because I teach them young who gets on the scale with like all your clothes
Yeah.
on.
Yeah.
I remember being in Weight Watchers, and if I had my sunglasses on my head by mistake, I would take them off and reweigh.
Oh my god.
Like there will not be a smidge of
Do you ever do this? Well, one boob weighs like
Yeah.
1 pound, so that technically doesn't count.
Mine weigh like 7 pounds
Yeah.
each right now. I'm
Good
like,
night. My boobs are huge. I just
Anyway, we went with it, but
yeah,
it was
we
a
did.
fun time.
Who cares?
All
Love you guys. Have a great
Bye,
week.
Natalie, Brianna, Sherry,
Bye, guys.
Jacqueline Barrett,
Hey,
all the
Jackie.
peeps that jumped
Jackie
on.
Barrett,
Thank
you need to call me
you.
today.
You better call her.
What she said.
Yes.
Yes.
What she said. She's the boss.
That's right.
All right, guys. We'll see you soon.
Thanks for hanging.
Bye.
You got it?
It won't go.